Thank you, Kato Jubila, for becoming a channel member. Your support is truly appreciated. Is it LPZZ or UPF? It doesn't really matter. What matters is if this figure is any good. Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at the UPF, formerly known as LPZZ, Batman Arkham Knight Deathstroke. A big thank you to the guys from LPZZ and Bombusbee store for making this review possible. In case you want to get this figure, you can do so over my link in the video description. LPZZ or UPF is killing it with their figures. They announced a bunch of new stuff on Wonderfest in China and I covered that in a separate video, so check it out if you're interested. Previously I also reviewed their Arkham Batman and I was really satisfied with how it turned out, so I'm hoping to see the same level of quality on this guy here. And so, without further ado, let's get started. First, a quick look at the packaging, and it's the same box design as their previous Batman. As you can see, here they are side by side, so the same general idea. We have a black box with a nice white line art showing Deathstroke on the rain. Then we have the logo and the name here, 112 collectible figure in this top corner, and then down here we have the logos of the company. So UPF is short for U-P-Finegures, is that right? Anyway, we see that this is in fact a licensed product. And then this whole front side is actually a magnetic flap that can be open, revealing a plastic window through which we see the figure and some of the accessories. Side of the box just says 112 collectible figure. Back of the box shows a faded image of the prison from the game, and then we have all of this info here. Other side shows Batman Arkham Knight logo. We have the same thing on top and warnings and barcodes on the bottom. So now, let's open it up and let's take a look at the figure. It is worth mentioning that here we also get this nice backdrop and this card that is revealing what is coming next to this line, and that is Arkham Knight. And on the other side we have a promo shot of the figure from the back, and then we have like a short description of the character. So I'm looking forward to Arkham Knight as well. But here is Deathstroke out of the box, and I have to say, same as their Batman, it is crazy how good this figure looks. I love how the colors do pop, but they are not vibrant and cheap looking. Instead, they are toned down and practically everything is weathered on this guy. I know that they announced that there will be some changes in the color scheme, but this is what I have here. The texture of the blue parts of the suit looks incredible. It is shiny but also weathered at the same time. The figure has some weight and the plastic feels solid. All the joints are nice and sturdy, and I'm telling you all of this right away because I already spent around 3 hours posing this guy for his posing video. So I already know that this is a masterpiece, but we'll go through everything in this review. First, the height. Deathstroke is around 16.5 centimeters tall, so he is slightly shorter than Batman, but we'll compare the two in a moment. As you can see, he looks good even in a simple standing pose like this. Taking a closer look at the details, here's how his default masked head looks. We can see his eye through the mask, and I was told to point out that this is a review sample and that they will do some improvements on the eye as well, so it will look even better if that is possible. I don't see any issues with how it already looks, but there you go. This blue side of the mask has that nice dotted texture, while the orange half is beautifully weathered, but also has these battle damage marks, the cracks and scratches. It looks really good. Then we have his orange band poking through the back, and it's a separate kind of rubbery piece that just pegs in and you can twist it. It is also worth noting that it stays pegged in. The connection is good, so it won't frustrate you by constantly falling out. This black undersuit that we can see on the neck and on arms and legs under the armor are actually rare parts of the figure that are not weathered, but most of it is hidden under this beautiful armor, so it's not a big deal. This strap going across the torso is made out of a softer plastic, and it is a separate floating piece. These two smaller straps go behind the belt and are just slightly tucked under the lower torso, but they are not glued to the figure. So this whole strap doesn't really hinder the articulation, and it still looks great on the figure. We have all of these details painted silver, and on his back, his sword sheath is made out of a sturdier plastic and also have these nicely painted silver details. We can see all the damage marks here on his back, and same goes for the front of the torso, the chest with these lines and all of these layers down here, and then there are these silver scales underneath here and on the upper arms. And arms are also looking good. We have some more damage marks here, more scratches, the weathered fists, and the shoulder armor pieces that are not completely the same. This one has all of these nicely painted bullets and some kind of technical detail here, but these are actually on a hinge, so they do hinge down like that, and then this piece also moves separately, so the shoulder armor doesn't hinder the arm movement, and with this they also hide any potential gap when you pose the figure. The belt also looks good with all of these details, the pouches, and even hand grenades on this side, and as far as I can tell, these are not removable. But the belt is sectioned into few parts, similar to how Revoltech figures have their belts. So these side parts are removable and they are pegged in here in front, as you can see, but they are also pegged here on the back, so they are completely removable. This is also done for the sake of leg movement. And speaking of legs, we first have these inner flaps that can move forwards and back, covering the gap in the hip. But when we turn the figure around, we can see that these are actually butt cheeks with sculpted pockets and a nice texture. And then we have the legs that are mostly armored up, but they also have these straps that are sculpted on, and then there is a pouch on this side and a working holster on this side. There are also these straps going up here, and we have two of them on this side. And it's a fake connection to the belt because these are actually loose pieces that you just hide under the belt like that. And same goes for this side here. All of this is done so that the leg movement is not hindered. But the armor here again looks beautiful with all of these damage marks, and here is the back of the legs, and again you can see that every single detail, even here on these straps, the brown parts, the silvers, everything is painted and weathered. These ankle pieces are sculpted separately, and as you can see they do move, so you can adjust them for posing. And finally here is a closer look at his boots that look good, and their bottom is nicely sculpted. So as I said, this is an amazing looking figure, so at least for now in the aesthetics department it does not disappoint. But let's now take a look at his articulation. The head and the neck give you a nice range of movement. He can look side to side. There is even a little bit of side to side tilt. Here is how far he can look down and then up. I already said this is pegged in and it does swivel. He has a nice butterfly joints, but there is also an extension in the shoulders like this, so that gives you an even better range of movement, which is needed because this chest armor piece is made out of a strong and sturdy plastic. So this is how far the arms go across the chest, and here is how far they go across his back. Arms rotate 360, here is how far they go out, and as I already said, this shoulder armor is on a hinge, so it slides up and down, and then this here is on a separate hinge. We have a bicep swivel, and then another swivel for the gauntlet here. We have a double jointed elbow that bends all the way, and then a swivel in the wrists and a hinge in all directions. And then we have two cuts in the torso. One is up here above the scales, and the other one is down here behind the belt. But this armor piece is connected to the chest, so when you're rotating the upper part, this also slides side to side. And here you can see these straps that go underneath the torso. That is why they are curved like this. And then we get another swivel at the bottom of the torso. We have a little bit of side to side tilt, again because of this piece and the way that it is designed and connected to the chest. And then for the belt, as already mentioned, these side pieces can be moved like this, so this frees up the movement of the hips and the legs. But interestingly enough, this guy doesn't have drop down hips. This is something that they gave to their previous Arkham Batman. Those were not the greatest. There was a little bit of issue with the looseness, so maybe that's why they decided not to give those to this guy. But his legs still move perfectly. Here's how far they go out, and then here's how far they move forwards and back. We have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. As already mentioned, this is a float floating separate piece. Then we have a swivel in the ankles, feet move forward, back, we have a nice toe joint and a nice ankle pivot. So the overall articulation is beautifully done on this figure. I would say maybe even better than on their previous Batman. Let's now take a look at his accessories. He comes with an instruction manual, which is just a simple piece of paper showing you the accessories, showing you how to move the joints, swap out the parts and pieces, and here they name everything included in this set. We get a nice Arkham Knight base with a plate here that is removable like that, and we also get the arm for the stand, and these two simply connect together, and now you have a display base for your Deathstroke. We get his alternate unmasked head, and this also looks incredibly good. Look at this. The eye is really nicely done, and then the patch on the other eye, the scar, his beard, and then the hair, which they also weathered up, gave it a nice darker wash, bringing out all of these nicely sculpted details, and then these straps going around the ear, over the head. This is another beautifully done accessory by LPZZ. We also get a nice number of hands. A pair of fisted hands are already on the figure. We get a pair of open hands, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of trigger finger hands, a pair of grabbing hands for his swords, and another pair of different grabbing hands for some of his other weapons. And speaking of weapons, he comes with his small dagger. It is a simple black piece of plastic, but with a nice silver blade down here. Then we get his pistol, his assault rifle that is also weathered and has some of the details painted silver. And here is how it looks from the other side. We also get his remote claw, with this part here being painted in a nice reflective metallic silver. It has two handles here, and then this claw here is removable, and it can also swivel. We get his katana. This looks really nice. Look at the orange details on the handle and the nice silver blade. And then we also get another katana that has a different look, a different design. It is more curved in comparison to the first one, and it has even more orange details, and this is also a really nice accessory. And then we get two versions of his ballistic staff. We get the handles that look like this, making a retracted version of his staff, but we also get an extension piece. And what you need to do is combine the two in order to make an extended version. So what you need to do is separate these two pieces. Then what you need to do is remove these two smaller pieces like this. Then you connect these extensions on both sides like that, and these smaller pieces go on the ends. And now you have the extended version of his staff, and this breaking point is practically there for you to slide this into his hands much easier. So there you go. I should also point out that this straight katana does go into his holster, and the connection fits perfectly, the sword doesn't fall out, and then his gun fits perfectly into the holster. Switching out the heads is no issue at all. Here is how the neck peg looks, and here is how his alternate unmasked head looks on the body. It fits perfectly and it looks great. For the hands, switching those is also no issue at all. Here is how the wrist peg looks, and we can give him one of his trigger finger hands, and the hands are slightly softer, so that makes it easier for you to switch them out. And he holds his weapons without any issues. Let's now compare this guy to some other figures. And of course the most important comparison is with the previous LPZZ Arkham Knight Batman. And as you can see, they go great together. Deathstroke is slightly shorter than Batman, but the look, the design of both of these figures is absolutely fantastic, and I'm so incredibly thankful that I have these two figures in my collection. I can't wait to see the continuation of this line and everything else that these guys have in store for us. Here's how he scales with Fonjoy Superman and Flav Toys Daredevil, Sexy Eyes 2019 Eliminator and Roman Key Big Guy Base Body, Mass Toys Symbiote and Kane, Mayfax Classic Suit Spidey and Daredevil, Mayfax and City Toys Batman Hush, InArt Dark Knight Trilogy Batman, and SH Figuarts Revenge of the Sith Anakin, SH Figuarts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Sentinel Peter B. Parker, AC Factory knockoff of Revoltech Ultron and CT knockoff of Revoltech Agent Venom, Wolverine, City Toys Brown Suit Wolverine and The Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spider-Man and X-Men 97 Wolverine, Star Wars The Black Series Vader and Stormtrooper, NECA TMNT Movie Raphael and Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man, NECA Feral Predator and Savage Crucible Veteris Repax, and finally YOLO Park Transformers AMK Pro Series, Optimus and Starscream. So there you go, that was my look at UPF or LPZZ Batman Arkham Knight Deathstroke, and I have to say that I love this figure. It looks incredible and it has a great articulation, plus you get a nice number of accessories with it. Their Arkham Batman is fantastic, and I feel like in terms of articulation, this Deathstroke is even better. It is actually crazy to me that we are getting this level of quality on a 1/12 action figure. I said it before, but these guys and InArt are going to dominate this hobby if they continue with what they are doing. I am very satisfied with this figure and I strongly recommend it if you can get it. Stay tuned for a posing video for this guy, it will be on the channel soon. And once again, big thank you to the guys from LPZZ and Bombusbee for making this review possible. In case you want to get this figure, link is down in the video description and it is still available at the time when I'm recording this video, so go grab it. But you've heard my thoughts and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this figure? Do you like how it looks? Do you plan to get it? Do you have their Arkham Batman? And are you satisfied with him? Let me know all of it down in the comments. As always, a huge thank you to my Patreon and channel members for their support. If you can also join and help, please do so. Links are in the video description. And of course, to all of you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me and I'll see ya in the next video.